Today is March 21st, a Sunday. It's about 11:15 in the morning and it's right around 59-60 degrees. It's a little cooler than I expected it to be out here, and I think it's because we had a storm front come through yesterday. It was more of a just a windy day for us, but it brought the temperature down some and everything. So one of the things that I did while it was windy, or I should have been doing, was planning out my garden. And I feel kind of bad that I didn't spend more time planning out my garden, because today I would actually like to start planting, but I'm not ready because I have a lot of planning that needs to go into it. So anyway, I wanted to do a garden diary today. It's spring has sprung. That's awesome. And I think that this next week we're going to be able to accomplish a lot. So here's the side of the house. We've decided that we're probably going to take these cannas all the way down to the pot level and let them grow back, because they're just starting to look ragged. So typically that's what we do, but I thought we have so many green ones that I thought maybe I don't need to do that, but I think I do. There's an ornamental kale, and I had actually taken and pinched the inside of that out, so it's kind of interesting how it's formed compared to this one. And this one's gonna start getting a flower on it. They get kind of ugly when they do that. This society garlic still smells. And then you can see we've cleaned out our planter box here. I took all of these Indian hawthorns out, and my husband's he's got a hole dug. He's gonna basically move the water line so that it's not over the top like that. When the bush was there, he couldn't really do it, and it was hidden anyway, but now he's gonna redo all of the water pipes. I'm gonna be moving those 2 oleanders out of here. And then what we've decided to do is we're gonna put these pots, those pots, as bookends kind of on the end of each of the, we're gonna have this one down here, and and it's gonna sit up so that it kind of will hide that box that's there too. So anyway, and you can see the pomegranate tree is leafing out finally. It's kind of pretty. I bought a elephant ear bulb. It's huge, and I'm going to be planting it, and it's going to go over on that platform when we get that all ready to go too. So we've got this platform we need to build up, and we've got a pot that the elephant ears is going in, a big old pot, and it's going to sit back there. And then we're going to get some Italian cypress and put in here so that we can plant like a screen for our jacuzzi. And then in each of the pots at each end, I'm going to have like colorful flowers or something. Show the palm trees are getting big, and the trees are greening up now. Last week we heard just a ton of bees in the trees. again, you can see these are looking raggedy. They stay green, but I think we want to cut them back a little bit. So I'd say that that planter back there is the one that we worked the hardest on. You can see my cilantro bush here. The other thing I did was I did a lot of leaf removal because I had so much. We went to the dump last week, so we took those plants that were the plants that were in that planter, but there was also tons of leaves and stuff back there too. So I went around the yard and like where the fountain was, I tried to clean out all of the leaves that were in the fountain area. You can see the armeria are starting to bloom. And then the dead nettles, I think that's such a weird name for this plant, but this one's just going gangbusters with color. And I propagated, or I took some cuttings off of this, so I'm hoping that I can get them to root, and then I'm going to plant them where there's empty spaces. That's about the only armeria. This one's getting some blooms on it, so is that, but they're a little slow. Well, maybe that's not slow, I don't know. What else have we got going on? The plum trees are, you can just hear the bees. I don't know if you can. There's a ton of bees in the rosemary. The other thing that we worked on this past week, well, I took out this ornamental kale that was over here. I'm going to go ahead and move that gazania over here. Haven't done it yet, but the other thing that we worked on was the stump removal. Well, I want to show my blueberry bush. They're looking pretty healthy too. I've been hand watering them a little bit. Anyway, my husband's really been working on this. It's one of these where he's taken a drill and drilled holes in it, and it's becoming less and less. All of the wood that he's gotten out of it, it's pretty impressive. I took some more leaves out from underneath these Indian hawthorns, and we added that to our dump run, some of it. And then one of the mistakes I think I made was planting these strawberries in this bed. I really should have looked at a more shallow bed. So I've already added this to my 2022 garden plans that I'm going to move these strawberries again. I think they're more suitable for a shallow bed. They don't need all of this depth to them, and so I'm just kind of wasting a bed. So I've been trying to keep these beds moist. I don't know that I've done a great job of it, but I have hand watered them several times. You can see that the Society garlic is doing well in this bed, which is what I wanted. They're stinky, and I think they'll help with pests. There's one arugula plant coming in there. Actually, there's probably more than one. And so that's fine. As I've been watering, I've seen like little plants come up and start and then kind of stop, but I've got a bunch of seedlings in the house that I need to, in the next week, start bringing out and hardening off a little at a time. So I hope to get that done as well. So my plan is to plant some seeds that I'm gonna then stick in the garden that I really want to direct sow, but I don't have my plan yet. I think this is all purple basil that's coming up here. And I still want to move those strawberries out of there. We're going to put that red pot with some tile there, and then we're going to have red pots in this thing this year. And here's the calendula. And there's another one that's going to bloom. Oh, another 2 at least. 3. 4. Cool. And then this is my greens bed for right now. And what I did is I sprinkled a bunch of, I think it's tatsoi. And then I've got also some spinach coming in. This is spinach, pretty sure. And then you can see there is some purple plants in here. So hopefully in the next week or so, we're supposed to get really warm. So hopefully the things will start popping up more. They've been a little slow. And the bees are loving this. I did cut some mustard off of here and cooked it. And then I've got some cilantro coming up in here. And then one of the things that we did is we have gotten this compost. We never really had anything in here. We weren't utilizing this. Now this is going to be where we put our potting soil that we're going to revitalize. So I've been taking the dirt out of these fabric pots that we're not using right now, and I've been sifting it with this thing and putting it in here, and then I want to keep this moist and stuff, and then my husband can put it with our compost. He has a mix, a certain type of mix that he uses. So I now am helping him process the soil a little bit by helping with getting the potting soil into a composter. So, and I think it's working out pretty good. It'll work out really well for us, I think, because then when he's ready to use it, it'll be ready to put with his mix. So I think the other thing we're going to do in probably the next couple of weeks is finish up our stump work as much as possible. And then everywhere we've got dirt sitting around, we're going to dump back in this planter. And then I'll probably use this planter as part of my gardening this year. And then next year, we might put a multi-trunk Mediterranean palm in here. But not this year. I want to let this disintegrate some more. So that's kind of the plan. Those trellises are just kind of stuck in there haphazardly right now. My husband's also gonna increase the depths of those. He's gonna get some more lumber and make these taller. So that's gonna be part of my garden as well. But anyway, we're gonna get all of these pots with the soil back in here at some point. I've even got this pot sitting here full of soil, and then these are just wood stuff. And then we're gonna clear out the rest of these pots, and I'm gonna be putting those into that composter over there, and this will clean out this area quite a bit, and we'll get ready to set up like a planter stand right at the end of this walkway. And then I've got some hibiscus in the house. I'm going to put one right in the center here. I'm going to pull that mum and probably put it in a pot somewhere. And so I think that's about it. I've got some plans for some stepping stones. I just want to make it easier to walk on these rocks places that I want to walk. So I've got some ideas for some decorative stones. I just need to build the molds. So I'm going to be doing that, but probably not right away. This is the tree that's getting the greenest so far. Oh, my little oleander is still alive up here. But one of the things that I did is I planted it one down. There's one in between each of those trees. I want one right there, and I don't have one there yet. And then there's that oleander right here, the little one. He's doing good, that little guy, because he was in the rocks, and I put him up there, and I think he likes his home. It's sunny and nice for him. So the bees are loving this bush too. I probably need to redo it so it's not so lopsided, but I like it anyway. I don't have a real formal garden. I like the look of a real formal garden, but I don't know how to do it. I don't think I even showed these petunias. And I'll end it. These red are so pretty. I love the way the sun hits them too. And these purple are pretty too. And then there's a petunia coming in over there, so I'm probably gonna get that cilantro out of there. Although we haven't minded it. I come out and use it quite a bit. Oh, I did get I don't know what that is. It looks kind of like a petunia, but I don't know. I don't know what that is. But I got a flower on it. That's cool. I didn't show this either. There's flowers on this lantana already. Oh, that's the other thing we did out front. We did a lot of work out front too. We cut back all of the lantanas that are like those purple ones there. Anyway, that's my garden diary.